Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This video is about doing veterinary medicine in Caribbean Islands. Before moving on to the topic, so many people have asked me about doing veterinary medicine in Canada, US and abroad in general. So I would like to give you a brief about doing veterinary medicine in North America in general. So in North America, it is very competitive to get into the veterinary medicine. Especially in Canada, there is only 5 veterinary universities in general. So this is very competitive, and also they prefer their citizens over international students. When it comes to the US, there are universities which accepts international students, but there too, their requirements are different from other countries like India. So when you're trying to get into the US veterinary universities, you have to make sure that it is American Veterinary Medical Association accredited universities, because not all universities are accredited by AVMA. If you want to get into North American veterinary universities, you have to finish mandatory courses required by the universities before getting into veterinary medicine. And also you should have animal experience working hours, maybe 100 to 150 hours depending upon the universities. And you have to meet the GPA requirements, English requirements, and so on. For the detailed requirements, you have to go through the university websites. After completing all the requirements, when you get into the DVM program in North America, you will have to finish the degree within 3 to 4 years depending upon the universities which you are enrolled to. And after those years of graduation, you will have to clear North American veterinary licensing exam in order to practice as a vet, regardless you are from an AVMA accredited or AVMA listed. The AVMA accredited universities includes a lot of universities, so it's very hard to list out each one of them. So I will just let you know the countries where AVMA accredited universities are mostly seen. So most of the universities in US and all of the veterinary universities in Canada and UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Scotland, and 1 university in Mexico, 1 university in France, 1 university, Seoul University in Korea, and 2 universities in West Indies. Getting a degree from AVMA accredited universities mean after completing the degree, you have to just clear a written exam, which is North American Veterinary Licensing Exam. So if you are a graduate from AVMA listed universities, that's mostly from foreign graduates from India, China, Russia, and other countries. So you have to go through a rigorous procedure of getting the license, which is doing BCSC, NAVLE, that is the written part, and the other clinical testing, which is on a cadaver, PSC, and the other one is CPE. So those are the clinical side of the test. So you have to go through 2 written tests and 2 clinical practical sessions. And if you are a foreign veterinarian who has all the experience, and you will take a minimum of 2 to 3 years without fail. If you just pass all the exams in one go without fail, you will have to wait 3 years, minimum of 2.5 to 3 years, in order to finish the entire process of licensing. And there is another part too. You can get board certification from AVMA. Then you can just practice in that specialized board certified area, your specialized field of veterinary medicine, and then you don't have to clear NAVLE in certain boards specialization. If you want to directly get into an AVMA accredited veterinary schools, so first you have to go through that rigorous competition, and second, as I mentioned, most of the countries which I listed here, the university's fees are pretty expensive. And third is most of the universities accept their citizens, but there are universities isolated universities which accept international students, but they have to go through all this process, which is entirely different from their home country. If the difference between AVMA accredited and AVMA listed universities are clear to you, let me go to the actual topic, so which is doing your veterinary medicine in Caribbean Islands. When I listed out the AVMA accredited universities, you might have seen like me mentioning West Indies, that's where the Caribbean Islands universities comes in, which is like the Ross universities and St. George universities. Both these universities are AVMA accredited, and also they accept international students to a greater extent when compared to the other universities. So they are very welcoming, and they are like sending out like messages for so many international students out there to come and just take their veterinary medicine programs here. And just to give you a disclaimer, this is not like a promotional video or anything. I just came across this universities through LinkedIn pages and also Instagram pages and stuff like that, so thought of making a video on this. I will walk you through the requirements in general to get into these universities. The reason why I'm talking about these universities is that like the cost of veterinary medicine, doing a veterinary medicine in these universities is cheaper compared to the US and Canadian universities. And also the year of graduation from these universities is much less, like 3.5 years you will graduate. So the requirements for getting into these universities, I'll just walk you through like the general requirements they look into, and I'll tell you about like the specific requirements for the Ross and St. George University separately. So the first thing they look into is your GPA, like the prerequisite coursework. They need a prerequisite coursework in order to get into the veterinary medicine program, and like you require to get like a certain GPA on that courses. And the second thing they look into is your GRE score. And third thing they look into is your animal experience, like professional animal experience. And fourth thing they look into is your personal essay. Fifth thing they look into is letter of recommendations. Sixth things they look into is your extracurricular activities and other experiences. When it comes to the prerequisite courses, you have to have a background in biology. So I'll just read out the list of like the courses which is prerequisite for getting into a DVM program. So one is biology, cell biology or genetics, chemistry, biochemistry, physics, mathematics, English, and electives, humanities and social sciences. And also you can just write CLEP exam, which is like a exam or which actually like you can take without doing the coursework through college. So you have to have that competency, and you just have to learn yourself and write that competency exam. And they also have mentioned about the grades they accept from this CLEP exam. But like if your coursework is outdated, this might be overwhelming because there is so many subjects. So if you just pass like your 12th grade, like +2, just focus on like clearing the prerequisite courses. Or even these universities offer pre-med vet med programs. You can also enroll into that, so they will provide you with certain courses, and you can just actually learn and pass those courses and get into their DVM program eventually. So they offer that too. And so if you can go through that program, that's well and good. So if you are coming from like some other country, so this is kind of like foreign to us. So if you want like a personalized like answers for what you have to do for your certain circumstances, you can directly email them, so they will answer your query. So I might not be the best person to answer all those questions, so you can just directly just email them. So I'm just letting you know like this is also an option, which is like a affordable option when it comes to studying abroad. Now let's see like what are the specific requirements of like St. George's universities. So for St. George's universities, you need a GPA of 3.5. Actually that's the overall GPA they recommend, but like the overall accepted, the recent 2024 like one accepted vet student had like a GPA of 3.54. So they have clearly said that you getting into a DVM program doesn't just solely based on your GPA and GRE score. It actually depends upon your your animal experience, your extracurricular activities, and how you do with your essay and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry even if you have like a low score in your GPA or GRE. Just apply and they'll decide with their parameters, and they will let you know whether you can just do the DVM program or not. And you will have to have like an animal experience, professional animal experience of 150 hours. Like even it's the same for both St. George's University and also Ross University. And the other things are all the same, which I have already mentioned in the general thing, like the personal essay, letter of recommendation, and also extracurricular activities and stuff. And for the Ross University, you require a GRE score of 301 and the GPA of 3.2. So that they always just say which the GRE and the GPA which was taken recently, the student who have got into a DVM had this GPA and had this GRE. So it's not necessarily like you should have those GRE and GPA, but it's just that the student, those who are doing the DVM right now, who have got into the DVM program, have this course. That's it. And the Ross University also needs like an animal experience of 150 hours. So if you wish, if you are like a high school student, higher secondary student who wish to come and study DVM program here, just make sure you just visit your veterinary clinics and veterinary hospitals nearby, and then just volunteer there and just make some connections, and so that you will get so that the veterinarian there can give you like a recommendation letter for you, and then you will also be like acknowledged by those people like for your voluntary activities, and you will get to have like animal experience, like how to handle pets and how to handle large animals. Not like very exclusive experience, but still like how to by watching you will be able to see all those differences. But because you can see here in North America, generally in Canada, you will have that volunteer experience. Here there is so many shelters and pet positive like places where you can go to and then just gain those experience, and you can just actually add it in your CV with references from them. So it's always better to go like that pathway if you actually wish to come and do your DVM program abroad in general. So, and also as I mentioned, they also offer like vet program, vet prep programs, so you can also check out that in their websites. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this opportunity. Like it might be hard to get into, but there is like an opportunity like this. I just wanted to put it out there. And also like I have seen like in one of my comments saying that getting into the universities like US universities is very difficult, Canadian university is difficult. Yes, it is actually very difficult to get into these universities because they prefer citizens, like their own citizens. So but these universities actually like accept international students. So all you have to do is to find out the universities which accepts international students, and if it's affordable, the fees is affordable for you, you can just come and do the DVM program here and can get the veterinary medicine degree from an AVMA accredited school, like vet school directly. So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. See you, bye with the next video.